Hello, welcome to Let's Talk SEO. Many people have been asking me to make a video about this, and as you can see, Verge was ranking number one, and this is, it's not ranking number one right now because of all the buzz it created on Twitter and all other social media platforms. Google kind of figured out what they were doing and demoted them. And so I think CNET is number one. So as you can see, usually CNET is number one when it comes to these types of search terms, because that's what CNET usually does, is it reviews devices, and it's been doing that for over a decade. In this case, the Verge beat CNET. It beat all the other review sites, PC Mag that primarily does reviews. The Verge doesn't primarily do reviews, so that's not their primary thing. So a lot of people were saying, if you're a big website, you can get away with anything, which is correct. But in this case, there are other big websites that it's competing against, and this is a highly competitive keyword, and it's a really hard keyword to rank for Best Printer 2024. So when we search for Best Printer 2024, this is how the search looked. The Verge was number one. Best Printer for 2024 by CNET was number two. The 7 Best Printers Spring 2024 by ratings, I guess, was number 3, and PC Mag was ranking at number 4, and we don't need to go anywhere below that. But the craziest part here is that if you look at the Verge's title, it says Best Printer 2024, Best Printer for Home Use and Office, and then it cuts off. And so why is this? Why are they ranking? And why did I say that this is crazy? Well, for one, best practices for SEO is that your H1, your title, should be within the visible zone of the search, and clearly this cuts off over here. And if you read the article over here, it's Best Printer 2024, Best Printer for Home Use, Office Use, Printing Labels, Printer for School, Home Printer. You are a printer. We are all printers. And so really what this is that this is the keyword that they're targeting, and usually that's what you would do is you would insert the keyword into your title and your H1, and ideally it should be the first 3 words that are in your title or your H1. In this case, their title is their H1, so it's the same thing. So title and H1 is the same, which is not the best SEO practice, because I always say your title should be different from your H1, because that gives you more opportunities to insert keywords and to insert entities if that's what you're doing. So primarily, what a lot of people would say is this is a bad H1, because you're practically keyword stuffing. So you've got Best Printer 2024, then you've got Best Printer again. So the keyword, the primary keyword is put in there twice. But over here it says Best Printer for Home Use. Then it says Office Use. So these here are entities. So Office Use is an entity. Printing Labels, probably another entity. And again, it says Printer for School, which is another entity. The Printer for School is not an entity, but school is an entity. And printer is another entity. So homework printer, this is another keyword, by the way. So they insert another keyword. So there's 3 keywords in the H1, and then there are a few entities. And so it's quite a long H1, which is why it's tourniqueted over here. You're not able to read the entirety of the H1, and which appears this is a black hat tactic, because you don't want to do something like that. And Google usually says you want quality content, which I'll get to why this is not quality content. If you enjoy the video, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. I put in a lot of effort to make these types of videos to impart my knowledge from years of doing SEO, and it really helps if you guys like and subscribe to the channel. So quality of this content is really low, and so whatever Google says, this flies in Google's face over here. So after they've put this keyword stuff H1/title, the article itself is hardly maybe like 500 words, and it's just a brother printer. So it says over here that the brother printer is the best printer. It doesn't appear to be an AI written article, but there are no H2s. You read through. There are no H3s. This is primarily a 500-word wall of text with just 2 images of a printer, which shouldn't be taken as high-quality content. But apparently Google, for this search, saw that this is a high-quality content. And why is that the case? Especially when you're competing against a website like CNET that primarily does printer reviews. So it says Best Printer for 2024. It's in the keyword over here. This assembles the whole argument of, what printer you should buy, how you should buy how you should buy printers, various types of printers for various types of use cases. And so the important thing here is if you look at this article, it says best overall small office printer. So this here is a keyword, small office printer, with the Verge, if you remember here, it says office use, printing labels. So it literally inserted this into its title. And this is a pretty long article. It goes into it gives pricing, it tells you about different printers, it's comprehensive. It is what you would imagine Google would want to see in an article. But apparently, Google put this article number 2, and it was number 2 to this article, which is hardly 500 words. And it's not even very well optimized, apart from the H1/title, as I mentioned. There's some internal links over here. The other thing that this article does, which I don't see a lot of these major websites doing, is that it has sort of like a PBN link pointing to it. And this brings me to this website over here. So this website, this page on this website, points to this article, this Word article. And I assume, or I imagine, this website is also owned by the Verge or someone at the Verge, and they put in links to that article over here. It's not a very high DA article, it's not a very high DA website, and there's literally nothing here. So this is the literal definition of a PBN, and they put in a lot of power, and you guys can do the research. They put in a lot of power into this domain, and they pointed this domain or this page from this domain to the Verge article. Now, I'm not saying that it is because this domain is pointing to this article necessarily means that, which is why this is ranking number 1. That's not what I mean. But I'm saying that even a website like the Verge is experimenting, and this is an experiment by the Verge. And so the SEO team, they have quite a large SEO team there. I know some of the people that are on the team. They do these types of experiments, and it's not only the Verge, there are other major websites that do this, just to see, test theories. And I do also this type of research or this type of testing, test different theories. And in this case, the theory proves that your H1 can be keyword stuffed, like it could be 10 years ago or 12 years ago when we used to do the same thing. In between, when you did this type of thing, you would be penalized. But now it appears that you would not be penalized. You would actually rank very well if you did this type of thing. Now, I've not independently tested this, but this has given me an incentive to maybe test this, and we should give you an incentive to test this. But a lot of this type of stuff has to be tested before you can say for sure that this would work for your website or for your client's website. So I hope you guys find the video useful. As always, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.